Hello, welcome to this new video. This video is about narrative tenses. We're gonna be using two of the most simple narrative tenses. I'm gonna be sharing some information so you can see some examples. But please let me know if you have questions in our Google Classroom. Well, now you have the chance to see these two, the two tenses that we're going to be using. Narrative tenses, past simple and past continuous. Now, how do we use them, or why do we use them for? Narrative tenses are used when telling or writing a story. It can be a fictional story or a recollection of past events. So, it is important to know that there are more narrative tenses, but in this case, we're going to use only two. We're going to be using the simple past. And the simple past is used for many events of the story, events that happen in the past, obviously. Here we have a short story as an example on how to use the simple past. All of the sentences that we can see here are in simple past. So if you take a look, it says, Luis got a new book. Got is a verb in past. So this sentence is in simple past. Luis got a new book. The book was about animals. Luis loved animals. The book had lots of pictures. It had pictures of dogs and cats. It had pictures of cows and pigs. It had pictures of chickens and rabbits. It had pictures of squirrels and birds. Louis looked at the pictures on the first page. Then he turned the page. He looked at the pictures on the second page. Then he turned the page again. The book had 30 pages in it. Louis looked at the pictures on all the pages. So if you take a look at this short story, it's about a new book that Louis got. And all of the sentences are in simple past. But there is a way to have a different variety. And this is by using the past continuous. The past continuous is to describe the background and create an atmosphere. And obviously to talk about actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. In this case, we have this short story in which we have more sentences in past continuous, but we also can identify sentences in simple past. The story goes like this. Yesterday, it was raining and thundering all day. Anne was playing inside the house. She wanted to be outside. She wasn't playing outside because it was raining. She was feeling tired of being trapped inside the house. Anne was trying to keep busy inside the house. She was reading her book until the electricity went out. Then she decided to practice her sewing. She was practicing sewing until lunchtime. After lunch, she sat by the window and watched the rain. So in this case, you can see how we are combining the past continuous, but we also have the simple past. We can have this sentence, for example, she wanted to be outside. This is a verb that it's rarely in continuous form. If you say she was wanting to be outside, is something that is not said in English. She wanted to be outside. It is more correct. Then, it is important to remember how we structure these two sentences, and let's remember that. So, here, for example, I have a sentence in simple past. It says, I visited Paris last year. And this is a sentence that is totally in simple past because we have a verb in past that is visited. So, visited is our verb in past. I can express something related to my trip to Paris, but now in negative form. And if you remember the negative form of simple past, we have to use didn't, and the verb has to be in the simple form. So I can say that I didn't go to other cities. So I mean that I just visited Paris. I mean, I went to France, but I just visited Paris. I didn't go to other cities. And I can express it like this. We have didn't, we have go in simple form. And this is the way we form sentences in simple past. If you want to make a question, then you will use the auxiliary did at the beginning. Did you go to Paris last year? If you use a question in your narrative, it can be possible. It can be possible to use a question. So that's why I'm showing you how to make a sentence like this. So if you pay attention, the sentence is in past, the sentence is in negative, and the questions do not have the verbs in past. But the sentence in affirmative has to have the verb in past. So this is the simple past. Just remembering how to structure the sentences. Now, if we talk about the verbs, the tense in past continuous, we just saw that, we just saw that we can use the past continuous to create atmosphere. So, if I want to tell you about my first kiss, I can tell you the birds were flying. And this is the background from the day I had my first kiss. So I can give you some details like this. And I can say the birds were flying and the sun was shining when I saw a handsome guy. So here, for example, you can see, over here, the birds were flying when I saw a handsome guy. So here I'm combining the past continuous with the simple past. I'm using the connector when. Yes, but here the most important part to see is the way we structure the past continuous. That is using the verb to be. In this case, we have were, the verb to be, and the verb in ing form, flying. Yes. I can say some other ideas in negative. I say I can say that I wasn't nervous. But this is simple past. I wasn't nervous. This is simple past, but I can connect my idea with a sentence in past continuous. I wasn't nervous because I was listening to music. So that can be my connection to because I was listening to music. And we have here, I was listening to music. Or I can say something in negative. Because I wasn't looking at him, something like that. So the important part here is to remember how to write sentences in past continuous. Remember, we have to use the verb to be in past form, which is was and were. And if you remember, was and were are for different pronouns. So if we use the was, we have I was, she, and he was. So here we go, like this. But if we use were, then we can use they, you, or we. So we can say, here we go, they, you, we. So they were, you were, we were. And we can connect it to a verb in ing form. So we can say, I was playing. And obviously we can give more words after it. I was playing soccer, yes? She was, yeah, she was playing soccer, she was playing bowling, etc. Yes? So if you have any question about how to structure the sentence, please let me know. I'm going to be uploading more information so you can help you to complete your activity. Thank you very much for watching this video.